what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at the video, the YouTube video.
They're both the same gray. Akiyoshi Kitaoka's newest illusion is blowing my mind. You've got a white face and a black face. Psych, they are both the exact same gray. The face on top appears to be illuminated by a dimmer light source than the one below. So before putting anything into conscious awareness, the brain figures, well, if this face is sending the eyes into light gray under such dim light, it must be an efficient reflector of light. It must be pretty intrinsically, even with more luminance, more light.
Whoa, stop. Zoom in. zoom in. Zoom in. Seeing anything weird? Right? Like this, yeah, it's not the same color anymore. All right. Oh, yeah.
This face produces the same gray
Let's slow that down. Seeing anything strange about this gray color here? Stay still. Look, it's changing. The color is changing because it's just the way the video is set up. And this is slowed down, so you can see these changes, the macro blocking artifacts. And ultimately, we have the same thing here. A lot of macro blocking artifacts. He hasn't come over here to paint this face in the gray color. I don't know why the UI keeps popping up like that. It's pissing me off. All right, and then we have the macro blocking artifacts. And ultimately, the other thing that he does is he will show, eventually, look at the checkerboard, oh my goodness, that's freaking hilarious. Why is this UI keep popping up, man? All right, so, Christ, so stupid. I just want to zoom in and zoom out. All right, so anyway, let's get past this point. Okay, so now we have him going to draw a line, and you can see the macro blocking artifacts. And then look at what happens. There's a gradient. There's a legitimate gradient here. It's legitimate. How do we know it's legitimate? Well, here we have my settings, and we have PNG selected. PNGs are a lossless compression format. I know it sounds really ridiculous to have a lossless compression format, but that's what that is. So we're going to have to go back and watch him draw this line. And we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of the line that he just drew, right? And my UI is going to pop up in here. So we're going to go ahead and take that screenshot, and we're going to have that lossless screenshot, and you can see my UI now, right? But you still see that there's a gradient, right? I don't know why I'm using in there. Okay, so we're going to save that. That's saved. Okay, so now we can pull up the file. Now we've selected the file. Now it's in here. We're not going to extract the line art. I don't know why that ended up replacing number 3 there. Did I select to replace it? I don't think there's an option to do that. Well, whatever. It replaced the other file. But now we have this one in here, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a sample from right here. And we see that we have that file, right? That sample, 114, 112, 113. Now we're going to take that white blank, right? And we're going to go ahead and take another sample. And what we end up having is a different color, 113, 111, 112. 112, 114, all that sort of stuff, right? So it's different. It's actually different. You can see that it's different. I don't know why that's so complicated for people to understand. Not only that, but look at this. There's some weird stuff going on here, right? So if I sample from right here, then we have this grayish color, right? 113, 113, 113. But we're going to sample from right below it, and where this looks a little bit reddish, and it's a little bit reddish. It's actually 113, 111, 112. So the red, it's there. I don't think that my ability to discern color is very good, but apparently it's super good. It's way better than most other people, apparently, because there are people arguing about this. And they're saying that I'm wrong, but it's like, bro, this is the video. This is the video. This is the 1080p video from YouTube, right? All right, now the other crazy thing is this, right? This is the difference between the first image. So this is the image. We got, I got rid of those borders. We have the JPEG stacked up against the actual, PNG image, right? And you can see that there is a significant difference between the JPEG and the PNG. If I get rid of the JPEG, then we have pristine colors here. Look at that edge. It's 100% perfect. Look at that. Without the pixel grid, it's so much easier to spot. And it'll probably cause less compression artifacts when I upload this video, when it is uploaded as its own thing. See, look at that. PNG, JPEG, PNG, JPEG, PNG, JPEG. Now, see, there's not as much of a difference when we're looking at other types of colors, but definitely around the edges and stuff, JPEGs still cause some issues, depending on, what the content is that's trying to be represented, right? So you can see there's really efficient pattern recognition here. But for whatever reason, the blue, it's having some difficulty with that. Let's see if it's having any difficulty in any other areas of this image. Maybe even just on this. Not really. See, it's pretty good. But of course, the only other way to show this, and the best way to show this, is to just do the difference. So we're subtracting. And you can see basically the areas that I said there's no change. There's no change. And the areas where there is change, there was change. It's very hard to spot. And you can see the difference between the JPEG and a PNG on an image like this where there is very little going on ultimately, right? You just have the replies from this person, you know, and even this, right? Like I would have thought that there's some more going on here, but there's not. It's just the edge detect, you know, and look at that. Like there's so little difference. It's pretty good. And then of course, you know, again, the same thing going on with this image. But yeah, you know, if I were to just do a JPEG or a PNG and another PNG, then the difference would be 0. And I can actually show that. So here we have the PNG and the JPEG, right? But if we do the PNG and the PNG, oh, look at that. It's totally black. It's totally black now, right? So here we have that, and then we have the PNG versus the PNG. I mean, ultimately the same thing would happen if I selected a JPEG and a JPEG because they would be exactly the same. But, you know, I mean, it's pretty crazy how close. Oops, I'm sorry, we gotta select this one, right? It's so close on the JPEG front for rendering text. That's so crazy to me. And the other way that we can demonstrate this, I guess, is to move this around, right? Oh, not that. We have to select this to move around. Yeah, I think that's the one that I need, the selection tool. There you go. And a single pixel shift is enough to completely destroy everything, right? And that would be exactly the same with the PNG as well. Single pixel shift ruins everything, right? And yeah, I think that's basically everything that I want to cover there. So yeah, at the end of the day, the illusion would work if it was displayed properly. It still technically works for a lot of people. A lot of people are convinced by it, but it doesn't actually work. It's not actually an illusion as it's displayed through the YouTube short, because the illusion, the colors change. Yeah, the illusion would work if it were displayed in a proper way, but it doesn't actually work because it's not displayed correctly. So it's not an illusion. I mean, it is just not as demonstrated.